Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I watched the newly released Devo documentary that's on Netflix last night. And so I'm going to give you a little review of that. And just wanted to quickly mention, I finally heard this Donovan in concert album. I only listened to the first disc of the two yesterday, and I loved it. So I'm very happy that I got this, my fourth Donovan album. Now back to Devo. So I became aware of Devo back in 1978. I think I do remember seeing their performance on Saturday Night Live, which is mentioned in the documentary. But I'm pretty sure that I saw this album in record stores first. And I'm not sure if I bought the album on vinyl, of course, and then saw the performance on Saturday Night Live, or the other way around. But let's just say their performance on Saturday Night Live, and I just recently watched it's on the internet if you can do a little search. And they did I Can't Get No Satisfaction and Jocko Homo. And they are, besides Sparks, being on Saturday Night Live 1982, it's my favorite live performance from Saturday Night Live. I remember, like I said, back in 1978, I was actually working. I was a security guard at a hospital. And the TV was on, and I could I could see their performance. And it might have been before I bought the album, and I'm thinking, they are so weird. I think I like them. So anyway, yeah. This album cover, I did not get it, back in the day. It's like, this is really weird. What the heck is this all about? And they do tell a little story about this golfer in the documentary. But on first listen, I loved it, and I've been a fan ever since, although mainly just for the first, four albums or so. I stopped buying them. But I do have Question, Are We Not Men? Answer, We Are Devo. Duty Now, For the Future. All of these have bonus tracks or even live concerts. And Devo, Freedom of Choice, with, of course, their big hit, Whip It. And I also would like to get, again, I had it on vinyl, New Traditionalists, which was a pretty good album. But after that, like I said, they started to get too commercial for my liking. And of course, it's kind of talked about in the documentary how, the record company is looking for another hit like Whip It, which, they weren't going to repeat themselves, but they did, kind of get a bit more commercial as their career went along. But there's still, anytime we've seen footage of Devo live, they're always great in concert. And so I really enjoy it. Just one tiny spoiler, in case you haven't seen the documentary. It's not a big spoiler, but it was really cool when I think it was Mark mentioned that John Lennon came up to him and Uncontrollable Urge, he goes, yeah, because I guess he watched Devo, and that was kind of his way of saying that he enjoyed it. So it goes through their whole history. It's very interesting, and it's also, of course, predictable, that there are issues with record companies, just like a lot of bands and solo artists have. And, Kent State, the Vietnam War in the very early 70s, and how they kind of formed the band Devo. And really early footage of them, too, which is really cool to see. And all of the living band members, well, even the ones that passed away, there's audio clips or even little bits of video, like of Alan Myers, the drummer, talking. So overall, it's a very good documentary. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. And what I love about this is, just like when Edgar Wright did the documentary The Sparks Brothers on Sparks, that really, boosted their popularity worldwide. And not that Devo isn't popular, they're better known than Sparks, but I think this documentary will get them more fans like it did for Sparks, and that's always a good thing. Yeah, and they do talk about how at the beginning of MTV, there weren't that many bands making videos, but Devo was doing it much earlier in their career, before MTV, and so they were showing a lot of Devo videos, for early MTV, which really helped, gain them popularity. And then the big hit with Whip It, and then they did that hilarious video for it. But then, of course, through the years, MTV got more commercial and not taking chances with crazy clips like Devo's, and they stopped playing their videos. And so that didn't help their career, kind of going a bit downhill, which is sad. But like I said, they've kept going through the years, doing a lot of, quite a few live concerts. And I still have this one, and before I get to one thing that was negative about the documentary, just one more thing. I still remember, anytime I think of Devo, I think of this guy that worked at this record store. He was like a co-owner of it. And, we were talking, and he was saying that he was kind of down, and music, he was kind of bored with music, and, just, I guess, kind of depressed. The next day, I come in, and we're talking, and he's in a great mood because he had seen Devo the night before in Toronto, and it had lifted his spirits, because, like I said, they're so good and funny in concert. Yeah, and you also kind of get some band members saying, the later albums, they would use drum machines and everything, and they just weren't quite as strong albums as their earlier ones, at least for me. And like Bob Mothersbaugh, one, he was saying that, he wasn't really happy with the direction the band was going. And so you get that, which is good. But what I was kind of disappointed in, even though, they, like I said, they showed Bob Casale, known as Bob 2, and Alan Myers, the drummer, who both have, sadly passed away. I was kind of disappointed that wasn't brought up at some point, and getting some band members' feelings about their passing. And at least, they dedicated the documentary at the end to both of them, which was nice. But like I said, it would have been nice to have the band talk about them in some way. And so, yeah, I love early Devo and Bob 1. No, sorry. Yeah. It gets confusing here. Bob 1. The main lead guitarist most of the time. The whole band, great musicians, but I always love his guitar work when he does one of his crazy solos, like on Smart Patrol, Mr. DNA. And he goes into the crowd and everything, just going crazy. But I always loved their crazy humor. I do admit, at the time, back in the day, when I first saw this and the stupid potheads on their heads. It's like, this is stupid, right? But I get it now. And they were stupid, right? But they were also very smart. And there was a lot of meaning to a lot of their songs, like Freedom of Choice, especially. My favorite songs, glad you asked me before I go, Jocko Homo, Smart Patrol, Mr. DNA, probably my two favorites. And then this is my favorite album of theirs, their debut. And this is great too. Love it. And this is, you know, starting to get a more commercial, but still a great album. And yeah, Girl You Want, love that opening song. Whip It, of course, overplay, but still a great song. And That's Pep. Gates of Steel, one of their best songs. And yeah. So overall, like I said, 8 out of 10 for the Devo documentary. And that's all it's called is Devo. I actually, in the morning, say, I wonder what's that called? Devo. Which is typical of Devo, right? Keep it simple. That's it. I would love your thoughts on Devo, and if you saw the documentary, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.